I'm so excited today for our Astral Tribe because we get to speak to and listen to the amazing Deganit. And what I think is one thing I wanted to say was before we even go through your credentials and what you've achieved, I think the most powerful thing is when I first started going onto your social media and listening to your videos, it's your energy. It's like being in this healing vacuum when you listen to your words, your energy. It's this abundance, this joy. What you give out is incredible. And I know that our tribe are going to feel that and it's going to impact them before we even go through who you are. Um, but who you are. So you are an acupuncturist, a clairvoyant, an author, a speaker, a contributor on Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. And we're so excited to have you here today. So welcome.
Thank you so much. That is such I'm working on receiving that. That is so beautiful. And I'm constantly, telling my students that, we're human beings, not human doings. Like you are the gift. It's like people love you, not what you do for them, but just you, your vibration, your essence. And so to receive those words of affirmation is just really touching. And I'm so glad that the energy that I'm putting out there is being received as such. That means the world to me. Thank you.
Well, you shine when you listen to those videos. It's magnetic. And that's why we're so excited. I was like, they have to hear you. They have to just experience your energy. So with Astral Collective, we are all about this, supporting our tribe around and along their self-care and spiritual journey. And I feel like when you hear someone else's spiritual journey, that's where the power sits. And obviously you've had this huge dedication to your spiritual path from whenever you started and how you've kept that up and how it's evolved. And I feel like if we could share that journey with our tribe, I know that there's going to be little snippets in there that's going to be golds of nuggets, and it might be what other people can resonate with on how they're going through their journey.
Yeah. So like the spiritual journey started, I started meditating when I was 17 and I was just looking to feel better. Like in hindsight, it's clear to me I've always been intuitive and I've always been an empath, and like the magic has always been there and it's in all of us, right? But like I had denied it. There was like conditioning and all of this stuff. So I had like buried my own intuition and authenticity in many ways. Like I was just kind of like doing what was expected of me and not thinking twice about it and just like living to please others, really. I was surrounded by some miserable adults and I just wanted to make them happy. Like live out, like so that they could live vicariously through me. So like I was living out their dreams for me
Yeah.
because I could do things that they didn't have the opportunity to do. And that wasn't lost on me. I'm very grateful for my ancestors and my lineage. And then I had this breakthrough that was kind of like, actually, like they didn't suffer as much so that you could carry on the suffering. Like if I break free from this way of thinking and like living in autopilot, and if I break free from not being true to myself and from like this type of conditioning that suggests, I need to be making this much money or look a certain way or, like numbers, like very number fact based, like presentation out into the world. Like the second I let myself deviate from that path, and that was in part due to meditation and different meditation teachers that I'd had along the way. Yeah, like my whole life started changing and I just started feeling better about myself. I started feeling better about the world and the planet. Like I was before my like first spirit, I've gone through a lot of rebirths.
Haven't we all, yeah?
Like God will ever end. Like I'm good. Like I feel like I'm grateful. I'm good. Like I don't need to learn. I'm good on mastering lessons, I feel. But they just
No more layers, thanks. I'm happy here. Let's just stay here for a while. 100% get that.
Yeah, like sometimes when clients say they're stuck, I'm like jealous. Like, it would be so nice to press a pause on growth sometimes. But yeah. So like that first awakening for me was really just liberation. And I thought that I was like setting myself up to be like poor for the rest of my life and like kind of like starving artist mentality. And the opposite ended up being true. It like everything, I just grew happier and happier and cared less and less about the accolades and, my presentation and how people pleasing. I was such a people pleaser. So I broke free from that, and then all of a sudden people were pleased with me. And like,
you're like, exactly.
Totally. And like, I just started learning because I am an avid learner. And so like I started accumulating these accolades and credentials just out of desire and passion. But they've really helped me along, like they've helped me hone my skill set. They've helped me in the way that I offer my services and into all the gifts that I share with the world. But like everything that I do now is rooted in bliss and desire and pleasure. And if it's not that, then I don't do it. Like I won't work with people that like I just don't like. Like I might respect them, I might value them in the world, I might even like trust them with my life. But if like our personalities don't gel, like why? So it's been a fun ride. And there's been a lot of growing pains. And also there've been a lot of growing pains. And the growing pains have always 100% been worth it.
Yeah. So how did you
Yeah.
start to tune into that intuition? Because you're clairvoyant, you obviously have this amazing relationship and connection to the spiritual realm. Like, how did you go, okay, this stuff is not so weird. I'm gonna follow it and I'm not going crazy. I am actually getting messages and I'm gonna run with it.
I didn't believe I was psychic until 2 years of giving readings and people coming back and being like, no, really, you're onto something. No, really, like it's not your imagination. So like I was just dabbling in different meditations, right? And so like one path led to the next, and I happened to find a teacher that was like, you're not crazy, you're just super psychic. And he was like, I don't think meditation is working for you. Like I was like in my early 20s, my late teens, early 20s, hanging out with like retired people and meditating like hours a day because
It's crazy.
but I was viewing it as an escape. It was like the only time I felt good is when my eyes were closed. And so finally I got called out and was like, shouldn't you be out there like having fun and like doing
no,
all these?
I'm in my box. Leave me here. I'm happy.
It's safe here. It's safe here. I like it here. Yeah, totally. So he was the one that told me I was super psychic and that it didn't have to ruin my life. Like it didn't have to control me and have me withdrawn from reality in that way. I could actually like engage in real time with this world in a way that's delightful and in a way that makes sense to like the world just didn't make sense to me until I tapped into my intuition, and then it all made sense, right? So when it didn't make sense, I just didn't want to be a part of this world. Like I didn't enjoy it. Like I didn't understand it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't understand my purpose in it, or like what's the point of even caring. And then like, so Kehan taught me how to hone my intuition. And the school, he was taught at the Berkeley Psychic Institute, and many teachers have come from the Berkeley Psychic Institute. And so I also use those same tools that he taught me, and I've layered some tools on top of those from like everything else that I've learned along the way. So that's the very technique that he taught me is how I teach my students how to hone their intuition. And it's simple. It's so simple that you might miss it, and it's subtle because it's a bunch of like visualization techniques. And so at first you're just like watching colors go down your grounding cord. You're watching yourself fill up with a golden sun, and it feels good. But it's not like all of a sudden you're psychic, like it's not like
there's not a switch.
There's no switch. But like
which is probably a good thing, because it would be very overwhelming if it was just one day you turned the switch and you were like, what
Imagine.
Yes, it'd be terrifying.
It's like the worst acid trip. Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't terrifying because it was subtle and I wasn't expecting it to be my career and I kind of was still in the closet about it. So it was just I was using it as self-care and I didn't think I was psychic at all. I was like flattered he thought that of me, but I just thought I was nuts. And like this helped me I was very moody before these tools, and so this just kind of helped me stay even keel, and that alone worked.
Not imagine you moody. Like that
Oh.
doesn't even seem to resonate with your energy at all.
I know, as my mom, like she was like, once you like hit puberty, we're all on eggshells, and like, and I get it, and it's not like I'm not a very violent person, but like I do have a huge aura, and if I'm upset, like the whole house is upset, you know? And it was like they were all held hostage to my mismanagement of my energy field. Yeah.
Got teenagers in the house at the moment, and I resonate.
Right.
Special time in your life being a teenager. Ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
wow. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Total tangent, but have you watched Sex Education on Netflix?
Do you know I haven't?
So much.
Okay.
It is the teenage years, but like layered with so much wisdom and knowledge and compassion and unity, and it's just I love that show.
Can you sit down with your teenager and watch it, or is it something I should be watching by myself?
I think so. I mean, it is called Sex Education, so there's a lot of sex talk in it, but really healthy and really it's not like over the top messaging like sex is good. It's more of like an invitation to explore your relationship with sex and your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your friends and who you're attracted to and why you're attracted. Like it's there was just like layers upon layers of vulnerability and of things that we've all like it's a very I feel like anyone could relate to that show, and it's
Okay,
really
hubby is going to come home and he's like going to be like, what are you watching? I'm like, sex education. He'll think it's the best thing ever, and I'll be like, no, it's like for teens.
it is like therapy. Like every episode felt like therapy to me.
Okay, all right, I'm going to be going. All right, there we go. Guys.
Yeah.
We're all going into therapy, sex education. Tune in on Netflix.
So good. So yeah, I was a teenager and it was terrible. That's when I turned to like that. I found meditation at 17, and that's when I was hanging out with a retired community meditating.
Honestly, as a mother, that sounds like you would be like, what an amazing thing. Instead of turning to alcohol and drugs, you turn to meditation and old people. I mean, I love that.
I got lucky. Of all things to be addicted to, I got lucky that it was that. Yeah. And I was addicted. Like it was escapism at first. And then I found Kahan and I started developing these tools. And at first, like the tools just helped me feel better. And then like, you know, there's a ton of tools, right? So like as you advance, the tools advance and you can start using them. First, it's like the first layer is just like self-healing, but then the more you heal yourself, the more of a clear conduit you become. Mm-hmm. And the more you can see clearly. And so, because at first you're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing the world as you are, right? And I had a lot. Yeah. So I had like a lot of layers of stuff on me. Like in Taoism, there's this belief that we're all born with a diamond on the inside, and as life happens, layers of dust accumulate on the diamond, and so as you get disappointed, there's like a layer of dust that accumulates on the diamond, or your first heartbreak, another layer of dust, when you feel rejected, like stuff like that. And then we start mistaking the dust as ourselves, as our identity, when really you were born a diamond and it's just like life happened.
Yeah. 100%. Oh my goodness. I mean, that was actually one of the questions I was going to ask you, because everyone in our tribe is going through such a different stage. So we've got people who are starting off on their self-care spiritual journey, and then we've got those who are, you know, who've been going through it for a while. And as you kind of said in the beginning, you know, you're like, okay, I've learned, I've got that belief, and I kind of feel like I've done the self-healing, I've worked with that, and then it's like, bam, someone
Yeah.
comes into your life and you're like, what? I've dealt with that. Or like, bam, the same. And it's just this, it's hard to stay dedicated to that practice when you feel like you've put the work in, and that, this whole spiritual reality is the journey in itself is so layered. Like, what advice could you give to our tribe around being able to ground back in and dedicate to that journey when the layers are just like coming at you?
Yeah, so compassion and grace
Mm.
and trust yourself. And so what I see a lot is it's not when people fall off the wagon, it's their relationship with falling off, and like, I'm bad at meditating, this isn't for me, I suck at this, and like, this isn't working. And so my invitation would be like to expect to have those highs and lows and the ups and downs, and expect like the bliss to come and go. Like, once it comes, it's not staying forever. It's not like that. It is a daily practice, like, it is a devotion, it is a dedication. It's not like a magic bullet, and it's like, you got to shower every day, you got to meditate every day, or like at least every other day, or at least a few times a week. But
Yeah.
life keeps happening. Like, you do accumulate dust. It just is. That's the beauty of life, is that you get to like then cleanse the dust and learn more about yourself with every layer, Like, it would be so boring without the dust. So yeah, just expect the dust to accumulate, expect those bad days, and then they're not as disappointing or discouraging, or they're not like a reflection of you did something wrong. It's just life.
That's the big one, isn't it? It's around, what have I done wrong? Yeah. And it's
Nothing. You're
right.
growing. And sometimes growth sucks. And sometimes
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
So usually when we're in those icky moments, or if we start to like blame or shame ourselves and stuff like that, then that takes us farther and farther away from spirit and the path, and it takes that much longer for us to get back on the meditation wagon and back into like the self-care. So my invitation would be, the second you hear those thoughts coming up, experience something undelightful, the second you want to quit, basically, and like quit for a while, that's when it's best to just be like, you know what, I'm so proud of you, and you've done a lot, and like, the fact that you're even able to sit with this discomfort is proof of how much you love yourself. Like, if you didn't love yourself, if you only loved yourself conditionally, you wouldn't even be able to handle this breakdown right now, like, breakdowns aren't for everyone, and some people withhold life from themselves. Like, they withhold like the breakdowns from themselves, which means that they're also withholding the breakthroughs from themselves.
That's powerful. 100%. It's the breakthroughs, isn't it, when it's getting really tricky?
Yeah, so like, if you're going through that, my invitation was not, it would be like, not to expect it to end anytime soon, or not to expect, like, don't make it about you doing something bad, and don't make this a bad thing. It's not bad or good what's happening, it's just life.
Yeah.
And just, keep with the practice, because the practice, usually that's when people don't want to do the practice, either because they feel deceived by it, or because they swear it's not working, because if it was working, I wouldn't be here right now, or they're tired and exhausted and just like don't want to make 10 minutes for a time for a meditation or whatever. TV's easier, sex education's amazing.
Well, I mean, we have to endorse that. So everyone having a bad day, sex education on the TV.
Right. But really, if you do just take 10 minutes to meditate, that helps you go through those rough patches that much faster and with that much more grace. So it's like that one thing that's usually when people resist meditating, or resist whatever your form of self-care is, meditating, journaling, exercising, like eating right, whatever it might be. That's usually, it's like, it's not that when people fall off the wagon that's problematic, it's how long it takes for them. That's inevitable. You're gonna fall off a lot. Like, that is so inevitable. But like, the time to get back on the wagon, if you could work on minimizing that. So at first it might take a couple weeks, and then 1 week, and then just a few days, and now it's just down to a few hours. Like if you could work on reducing that time gap, then life just gets a little bit easier and feels like more serendipitous and like it's happening for you. And even those dark, like I'm coming out of like a dark night of the soul, and like I still laughed every single day of it, you know, like I also cried every single day of it. And I was also like, definitely like there was pain, and there was also a ton of gratitude, you know, because because I've mastered pain now. Like I've mastered displeasure. I can't say I've mastered it. I'm not going to say that, but like I can still find grace and things to be grateful for. And I'm still just like, I feel so blessed to be alive and to experience that level of life, you know, like it's just like if I wasn't alive, I wouldn't be feeling that. Like it's a reflection of like I'm actually paying attention and living, and what a blessing. So like the longer you're on the path and the more you can devote yourself to the path, the more everything seems like magic, even the rough things, you know?
That's hugely powerful. And I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to that going, I have no idea how she does that. So if we break it back down, so when we're having those dark nights of the soul, or we wake up in the morning and we're just, you know, the tribe, someone's feeling flat, or they're feeling really dark, or they're feeling anxious, and they want to kind of pivot and just make a small shift to kind of get their vibe back into that alignment. Just pivoting just a teeny tiny bit to feel better. What would you recommend they do to raise that vibe and to do just a minuscule pivot?
Totally. First, self-acceptance. Like, just accept that this is a shitty moment, you know?
Yeah.
And like, if you need to, like, I love screaming into pillows. Like, if you need to, like, set a minute, like, just a minute can do so much. So if you just need to, like, set a timer for a minute to, like, like, into a pillow,
Just
that
releases.
you know, and then it validates you, and it's like you listening to yourself. Like it's like if your friend is complaining, you're not going to be like, get over it. I mean, it depends on the friend and how often they complain, but like you know, but like usually you're going to want to give them a hug and be like, I got you, and it's okay to feel this way. And so like offer yourself, like acknowledge yourself, accept that moment for what it is. So for me, screaming works, punching a pillow also works, journaling works, like accept it. And then the one energy tool that I love is the golden sun, to like come back home to yourself and to feel good about yourself again. Do you want me to lead you in one? It'll take
Yes.
I can do it super fast. Okay.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So your golden sun calls back all your own personal life force energy. And we tend to, especially if you're listening to the podcast, you're probably an empath, and you probably like have a big bleeding heart, and you might give your energy away in different interactions, and this is how we connect with one another, right? Like I'm offering Tarryn some of my energy right now, and she's offering me some of hers, and this is how I feel close to her, and I love it, you know. And also once we hang up, I'm gonna decord and you know, and golden, and golden sun and get my energy back, because it's the best fuel for me, and your energy is the best fuel for you. So I'm not going to want to reserve your energy, because that's not going to serve me or you, you know. So but in this moment, it helps us feel connected and unified, and that's also a beautiful thing. So the golden sun will call back any of your energy that you've left in conversation with people, places, thoughts, events, goals in the future, or trauma in the past, all of that. And energy follows intention. So I'm going to ask everyone to like close their eyes in just a moment and visualize a golden sun. But even if you don't see anything, you're doing the work, because energy follows intention. So yeah, let's just take a few deep breaths, allowing your eyes to close and your shoulders to drop, your jaw to slack, and just really getting right here, right now. Beautiful. And just starting off by thanking yourself for taking a moment to acknowledge yourself and to call your power back. And you'll visualize a huge golden sun that's hovering at about 2 feet above your head. And this golden sun has your name in the center of it. in the form of a magnet. So it's magnetizing all your own source energy, your personal life force energy. And you're seeing this golden sun call back all your golden strands of energy as though it's a pitcher of water filling up with water. That gold light is filling up the golden sun. So you're watching the golden sun fill up and in with any light that you may have left in the past or in the future. It's now calling back any energy that you may have left with people, thoughts, events, places, emails, with your computer, your phone. All of that gold light is pouring back into your golden sun. And just take a moment to marvel in it, to look at how gorgeous the gold is, to feel the bright light hovering above your head. This is how people feel in your presence. This is your light. This is an opportunity for you to be witness to your own power. And if you'd like to set an intention across your golden sun, you can. Usually I am statements work really well. So I am blessed, I am grateful, I am at peace. And once your golden sun is all the way full, so full that it looks like it might just explode, you'll simply poke a hole in the bottom of it, and all that beautiful gold light is going to come in from the very top of your head, falling straight down to your toes, and it'll fill you up from toe to head, filling in your toes, your feet, your ankles, calves, and shins, so that every single cell in your body, from your thighs to your hips to your stomach and torso, up through your chest, your back, is all filling in with your own personal power, your source energy, your bright light. Filling in your chest, your shoulders, arms, forearms, hands, and fingers, and your neck, face, and head, so that every single cell in your body is functioning off your source energy set to your personally set intention. And this is the energy that works best for you. Feeling powerfully present, perfect, whole, and complete. You can allow your fingers and toes to wiggle and your eyes to gently open.
Oh, that was beautiful. You can really feel it.
Right?
Wow.
And then the more you practice it, the more you feel it. Like it has a cumulative effect, and it's
I'm going to do that. That is such a simple practice. And, we're in winter at the moment here. Hello, darling. Sorry, my cat's just decided to jump on. She was like, meditation, I'm there. I love that.
They always know. They always know. Yeah. Hi. Oh my gosh. I love the white strip on the nose.
But just just being in that magnet and going, wow, I actually am giving quite a lot of way. Like you could actually feel that, as a mama bear as well, I guess and then when you said through the emails, and I was like, jing,
a big blast of sun.
That was hilarious. I was like, okay, maybe put the computer and phone down today. So we are actually about to run out of our time, but I just wanted to say thank you, because you are this gift, and I know that everyone listening today is going to have felt that energy and that abundance and joy and healing that it's just like it's on steroids through the screen. And everyone needs to go and check you out. I will put a link through. Go and have a look at your school. Go and start following you on the socials, because I love watching your videos, and I know that that's going to be, so many are going to resonate with you. So thank you for sharing your time with us and your energy.
So much. Oh my gosh. And I love all that you're doing and all that you're offering the world. And I feel like I'm so grateful we're doing this, because
and it's not going to be aligned. Not going to be the end, because I know that we'll have a chat. We should do a 3-way with you, me, and Emma, and we can have like a girly hangout.
I would love that.
Maybe you should just come to New Zealand and we can go like on a girls trip.
I would love that even more.
Okay, done.
I'm there. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time and energy.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.